Hey guys, okay. Now, honestly, I'm trying to compose my thoughts here, but new Spider-Man trailer just dropped, and seriously, I've watched it, I think, enough times now to break it down for you guys and give you a look into what we just saw from the upcoming new Marvel movie. I'm really excited about this one, so let's just jump into it, like, right now, because I can't wait any longer. Okay, so we open up to your regular scheduled neighbourhood Spider-Man programming. Peter's living in a world that knows that he's a web-slinging hero, and we have the narration of a phone call he's having with MJ, telling her that he doesn't regret her knowing his secret identity. He lets her know that this is the only time that he has felt normal during this crazy period of his life, given that he is now a massive celebrity, or possibly even target, given what we're about to see in this trailer. Next, we see Peter talking to Doctor Strange, and he is explaining to Peter that because he ruined his spell, the multiverse seems to have opened up, inviting visitors from other parts of it. Of course, we move into some teasers that we've already seen, like the pumpkin bomb exploding on the highway, and the familiar silhouette of the Green Goblin flying on his glider. I'm so glad to see they're going with the first look from the 2002 Spider-Man film. I grew up watching that movie again and again, so the Green Goblin was a massive highlight of that film from me, and it's going to be good to see him return. We then, of course, get the returning Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus, as confirmed from the previous trailer. A bit more action scenes involving him and who he believes to be his universe's Spider-Man. However, given that masks just come off in the MCU movies more times than you can count, we find out that even Dr. Octopus is shocked to find out that the Peter he's fighting is not the Peter that he knows. Honestly, Alfred looks great. I mean, the man's 68 years of age and he still looks just as intimidating as he did from his first original run in the Spider-Man 2 film. His voice, his look, the smirk when he sees Peter again, it's definitely a highlight from this film, having him back, and honestly, it's really going to be satisfying to see him give a conclusion to a villain who died off way too early. We then also get a scene of MJ, Ned and Peter having a little giggle at the name Otto Octavius, and honestly, if it wasn't for that cell, I reckon Dr. Octopus would go ham on those kids. Speaking of the three, we find them speaking to Doctor Strange, who tells them they need to go Scooby-Doo on this whole situation. It seems like Ned and MJ are taking more of a lead role in this film in their attempts to help Spider-Man. Also, a great clip of Peter having his costume changed or altered by magic, so it'll be safe to assume that Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange is going to be assisting him in the events of this film. Then, moving on to one of the big ones, we get a number of events happening, like a lightning storm and a sand tornado. We of course saw these ones coming, seeing that Jamie Foxx, who played Electro in the previous Spider-Man film, was announced to return, so it'll be really good to see a returning Electro. And honestly, I didn't see Sandman coming, but again, the more the merrier in this one. Honestly, I think it's going to open up the floodgates to just so many possibilities. We also get a quick look at a Daily Bugle news van, so it'll be great to see the infamous news tabloid returning. And of course, with the Daily Bugle, you have to have the editor-in-chief, J. Jonah Jameson, with a returning J.K. Simmons to play him. Of course, his debut was at the end of the previous Spider-Man film, Far From Home, but it still has me pumped up to see him, and seems like he's on the scene on one of the news events happening, so I'm sure it'll cause some headaches for our hero, and yeah, it's going to be really good to see JK back in the role. Doctor Strange then tells us that these ghosts all die trying to fight Spider-Man. It's their fate. And then we of course see Peter trying to make an attempt to steal this magic box from Doctor Strange, something again that we've seen from the couple of stills that have been released. Then, I don't know if you've got this as well, but it seems like Doctor Strange might be trying to fight Spider-Man, given a couple of the scenes that we've seen from this trailer and previous trailers. Doctor Strange might be trying to stop Spider-Man from doing something even more dangerous. Maybe Peter's trying to make an attempt to mess up the multiverse even more. I don't know. And Doctor Strange is picking the lesser of two evils. Who knows? Maybe he might even be looking for a way to kill these multiverse bad guys, as he does state that they are a danger to our universe. So whatever or whoever they are exactly, I'm sure we'll find out when the movie comes out. A couple of clips, one of that being Dr. Octopus's metal arm changing shape and getting a red tinge to it. Possibly the bad guys are evolving or getting stronger somehow. Then the big reveal from this trailer, Electro. Jamie Foxx, who portrayed the villain in the 2014 The Amazing Spider-Man 2, is going to be returning. However, instead of a man made up of blue electricity, he seems to be more human looking, and he's got more of a yellow lightning running around him, and yeah, that honestly looks so much better from the original movie he was in. Then a quick fight with Spider-Man on top of a building, or given that we can see a crown, we can only assume that's going to be the top of the Statue of Liberty. It looks like there's work being done on it, or maybe it was damaged and there's some repairs going on. Honestly, it's going to be great just to see an iconic statue from New York City make an appearance in the film, and the fact that we're going to have it possibly destroyed by a massive battle with Spider-Man in some way, shape or form. I'm sure the CGI on that, it's just going to be amazing. Green Goblin then comes full screen, and he looks exactly like he did from the original movie. Even a voiceover from what we can only assume is William Dafoe, which will be great. He really had such a sinister voice from the original movie, and it'll be great to see him wreak his particular type of chaos with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Then, of course, the big one, Electro side by side with what looks like a lizard. So we can confirm that Lizard's going to be returning for this film, and a huge face in a tornado of sand, which of course will be the Spider-Man 3 villain Sandman. Honestly, the Lizard was an unexpected one from this film, but honestly it's going to be great to see him return as well. I mean, we've got Lizard confirmed, we've got Sandman, Electro, Dr. Octopus. I mean, they could bring in Venom, Vulture. I mean, could we possibly be gearing up for an MCU Sinister Six? Well, I mean, we have enough of the pieces in place given the context of what we're going to be seeing in this movie. I mean, who knows, honestly, at this point. It's really exciting to think about what's coming and what's going to be in this film. Peter then narrates a very heavy line. He can't save everyone. This is then followed by a scene of MJ falling from a very high place and Peter jumping after her to catch her in mid-air. Now, we all know this harkens back to The Amazing Spider-Man 2, when Peter jumped after Gwen Stacy to try and save her from a fall, but he failed and lost the woman he loves. There's a lot of speculation that this is the MCU's last film with Spider-Man, and the Marvel Studios did create Michelle, aka MJ, for these films. Could they possibly kill her off and see Tom Holland's Spider-Man go back to Sony without her? I mean, who knows? Finally, we have Peter and Doctor Strange surrounded by these huge purple cracks in the sky, and Doctor Strange stating that they are coming through and he can't stop them. Now, this will be very interesting, given whoever they are. I mean, all these Spider-Man villains have come through to the MCU verse. Maybe there's more Spider-Man villains, maybe something coming through that's even worse. We'll find out when this movie comes out next month. Now, with this full breakdown finished, I feel the need to let you know that this photo seems to be making the rounds. A friend of mine shared this image with me, and as you can see, it appears to be all three Spider-Man attacking the trio of Sandman, Electro, and the Lizard. I mean, this is circulating now, and it's yet to be confirmed if this was an accidental slip-up from Marvel Studios. I mean, who knows if this even will be confirmed? I mean, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire have both been heavily denying that they're in this film, but we all know how close Marvel plays their cards close to the chest. Okay, so that about does it for my breakdown of the new Spider-Man trailer. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you like what you saw? Are you excited for the new Spider-Man film? Do you possibly think we're going to get some new huge Phase 4 events in this movie? Let me know down in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.